Part 3, Madam rides the bus. Wali is enjoying the bus journey, and she's sitting on the seat. She did not like the woman who was sitting near her, and now she's just looking outside. The bus rolled on, now cutting across a bare landscape. Now the bus rolled on means it moved on, cutting across a bare landscape. It was an empty landscape. Now rushing through a tiny hamlet, it was moving past a small village or past an odd wayside shop, or it went past an odd shop. Sometimes the bus seemed on the point of gobbling up another vehicle. It was seemed on point of gobbling means striking with another vehicle that was coming towards them, or a pedestrian crossing the road. Sometimes it looked yummy, it will strike with another pedestrian or with another vehicle. But no, somehow it passed on smoothly, leaving all obstacles safely behind. Trees came running towards them, but then stopped as the bus reached them, and simply stood there, helpless for a moment by the side of the road before rushing away in the other direction. Naturally, once you're sitting in the bus, you feel like the trees are moving and moving, moving, and then you find they're just standing there. Suddenly, Wally clapped her hands with glee. She was so happy she clapped her hands. A young cow, tail high in the air, was running very fast right in the middle of the road, right in front of the bus. The bus slowed to a crawl. Now, bus slowed, it halted very, very slowly, and the driver sounded his horn loudly again and again. But more he honked means sounded his horn, उसने जैसे horn बजाया, the more frightened the animal became, and faster it galloped. Galloped means ran fast, always right in front of the bus. Somehow, this was very funny to Wali. She laughed and laughed until there were tears in her eyes. Hey lady, haven't you laughed enough? Called the conductor. Better save some for tomorrow. Means better save some laughter for next day. At last the cow moved off the road, and soon the bus came to a railroad crossing. A speck of a train could be seen in the distance. Speck means a little spot of the train coming from very far could be seen, and then it grew bigger and bigger as it drew near. Then it rushed past the crossing gate with a tremendous roar and rattle. Rattle means noise. With a great noise, it passed the crossing, shaking the bus. Then the bus went on and passed the train station. From there, it traversed. Traverse means passed through a busy, well laid out shopping street, and turning entered a wider thoroughfare. And now it came to a busy public road. Such big and bright looking shops, what glittering displays of shops, what shining display of the clothes was there. Now they have come to the town, and other merchandise. Merchandise is things for sale. Such big crowds. Dumbstruck with wonder, Wali gaped at everything. Now, surprised with wonder, Wali stared. Gape means she stared with one's mouth open at everything. Then the bus stopped and everyone got off except Wali. Hey lady, said the conductor, aren't you ready to get off? This is as far as your 30 paise takes you. No, Wali said. I'm going back on the same bus. She took another 30 paise from her pocket and handed the coins to the conductor. Why, is something the matter? Then he said, something is the problem? No, nothing's the matter. I just felt like having a bus ride, that's all. Don't you want to have a look at the sights now that you are here? All by myself. Oh, I would be much too afraid. So she said, no, no, she wanted to be all by herself and she was too afraid. See how practical she was, how mature. She was too afraid to go to the town outside. Greatly amused by the girl's way of speaking, now greatly happy by the girl's way of speaking, conductor said, but you weren't afraid to come in the bus? Nothing to be afraid about that, she answered. Well then, why not go to that stall over there and have something to drink? Nothing to be afraid of about that either. Oh no, I couldn't do that. So she refused. Well then, let me bring you a cold drink. Conductor insisted that he will bring some cold drink for her. No, I don't have enough money. Just give me a ticket, that's all. I'll it will be my treat, not cost you anything. The conductor said it would be a treat from his side. No, no, she said firmly, please no. So she was so well mannered, she would not take anything from anybody, not even a treat from a stranger. The conductor shrugged. He just moved his shoulder. And they waited until it was time for the bus to begin the return journey. Again, there weren't many passengers because it was still afternoon. Won't your mother be looking for you? The conductor asked when he gave the girl her ticket. No, 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 no one will be looking for me, she said. The bus started, and again there were the same wonderful sights, beautiful sights. Wally wasn't bored in the slightest and greeted everything with same excitement she had felt the first time. So she was not bored with this trip. She had the same enthusiasm, excitement. But suddenly she saw a young cow lying dead by the roadside, just where it had been struck by some fast moving vehicle. But now she saw that the cow, which was running in front of her bus, it was dead. Isn't that the same cow that ran in front of the bus on our trip to town? She asked the conductor. The conductor nodded. He agreed. And she was overcome with sadness. What had been a lovable, beautiful creature just a little while ago had now suddenly lost its charm and its life, and looked so horrible, so frightening as it lay there, legs spread eagled, means spread out, a fixed stare in its lifeless eyes, blood all over. And now she has become very horrified. She was afraid to look at the cow. Just a few minutes before the animal was so well, it was active and alive, and now it has lost all its charm, all its beauty. The bus moved on. The memory of the dead cow haunted her. Haunted means returned to her again and again. It was impossible for her to forget that. And dampening her enthusiasm, it lowered her excitement, her enthusiasm. She no longer wanted to look out of the window now. She sat thus glued to her seat, fixed to her seat, until the bus reached her village at 3:40. She stood up and stretched herself. Then she turned to the conductor and said, "Well, sir, I hope to see you again." "Okay, madam," he answered her, smiling. "Whenever you feel like a bus ride, come and join us. And don't forget to bring your fare." She laughed and jumped down from the bus. Then away she went, running straight for home. When she entered her house, she found her mother awake and talking to one of the Wally's aunts, the one from South Street. This aunt was a real chatterbox. Chatterbox means great talker, and never closing her mouth once she started talking. "And where have you been?" said her aunt when Wally came in. She spoke very casually, very normally, not expecting a reply. So Wally just smiled, and her mother and aunt went on with their conversation. "Yes, you're right," her mother said. "So many things in our midst and in the world outside. How can we possibly know about everything? And even when we do know about something, we often can't understand it completely, can we?" So they were talking. "Oh, yes," breathed Wally. "What?" asked her mother. "What's that you say?" "Oh," said Wally, "I was just agreeing with what you said about things happening without our knowledge." "Just a chit of a girl she is," said her aunt. So it's Aunt Kathy. "Yes, she's just a small girl. And yet look how she pokes her nose into a conversation." Pokes her nose means she takes an interest in something that doesn't concern her. कहते देखो हमारी बात के बीच में कैसे सुन रही है. Just as though she were a grown lady. Wally smiled to herself. She didn't want them to understand her smile because she herself had gone out without the knowledge of her mother. But then there wasn't much chance of that, was there? So, this is the story about Wali, an 8-year-old girl. Hope you like the story. And the greatest message we get is that uh, how mature she was beyond her age, how intelligent she was, how respectful, dignified. She did not became very friendly with the conductor. She did not accept cold drink from him. She did not want to start a conversation with the strangers. So this is what we should learn from the story. Stay safe. Thank you.